paper out in front of you. We are going to be taking notes on parallel lines. So we're going to start right with that one. I would put today's date. I would say it is 3/7, and these are our parallel line notes. Okay, so let's start right away with the first thing. We're going to start with the word parallel. What does parallel mean? Parallel does not mean equal. That's a common misconception. Parallel is not equal. What does parallel mean? If two lines are parallel, they what?
They'll
never touch. They have the same slope. And we use this as a shorthand. So whenever I say parallel, I might just draw two lines next to each other like that. Instead of writing the word, we know how great a speller I am, so that will happen. Okay, when we talk about parallel, I do want to mention, although we won't do a lot with it today, perpendicular. What does perpendicular mean? If parallel means it never touches, perpendicular means it intersects at 90-degree angles. Or right angles. We often say perpendicular by doing an upside down T like that. Perpendicular lines meet at 90 degrees. Okay. Now there are such things as intersecting lines, right? Which, you know, just don't necessarily meet parallel or perpendicular. We call these intersecting. Okay, we're going to draw a couple pictures here, and then we're going to do a lot of vocab. Okay, we're going to draw two parallel lines. Okay, a way to tell that these lines are parallel is they'll have double arrows. And those double arrows lets you know that they are for sure parallel. Okay? If they don't have double arrows, they could intersect at some point. This right here, we call this a transversal. It's a line that intersects both parallel lines. Okay. Now I'm going to use this diagram to talk about some other vocab. Here's angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is a linear pair. Linear pair means it has a straight line. It equals 180 degrees. Straight lines are 180. Then we're going to talk about angles 1 and 4. They're congruent. We call those vertical angles. For a linear pair, oftentimes I'll just say LP. And for vertical angles, I'll often say just VA, vertical angles. Angle 1 and angle 8 are congruent. Congruent means equals, right? But it's usually the geometry term. We usually say two numbers are equal and two things are congruent. It is alternate interior angles. And we shorten it as calling it AIA. 1 and 8. See how they're, not 1 and 8. This is wrong. 3 and 6 is what I mean. Sorry. See how they're inside the two parallel lines? And they're across from each other? It's alternate interior. Angle 1 and 8 are also congruent, but they are alternate exterior angles. We call that AEA, alternate exterior angles. Then we have angles 3 plus angle 5 equals 180, or we call that supplementary when something adds up to 180. These are same side interior angles. And we just call that SSI. And then we have like angle 3 and angle 7. Angle 3 and angle 7 are congruent. They are corresponding angles. Or CA for corresponding angles. And finally, we have things like angle 2 and angle 8. They're supplementary and they're called same side exterior angles, or SSE. Okay, so we've got these new words that we've talked about. We've got linear pair, vertical angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, same side interior, corresponding, and same side exterior. Okay, so now we're going to do some more examples and we're going to list all of the possibilities. So I'm moving this up. We're going to make another diagram. I've got my two parallel lines. I'm going to call them A and B. I've got my transversal, and I've got angles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'm going to list all the possible different things for it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a linear pair. Okay, linear pair means there's only two, okay, but there's lots of them, and linear pairs all add up to 180. So I've got angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. Angle 3 plus angle 4 equals 180. Angle 5 plus angle 6 equals 180. Angle 7 plus angle 8 equals 180. And there are more, because you could look at it the other way. Angle 1 plus angle 3 equals 180. Angle 5 plus angle 7 equals 180. Angle 2 plus angle 4 equals 180. And finally, angle 6 plus angle 8 equals 180. Those are all linear pairs, two angles that form a pair that gives us 180 degrees. Okay? Those are my linear pairs. Now we're going to talk about vertical angles, or VA. Vertical angles are congruent. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. Can somebody else tell me another vertical angle? I got 1 and 4. What else are there? 2 and 3. Angle 2 and angle 3, yeah. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. What else? Angle 5 is congruent to angle 8. One more. 6 to 7. And angle 6 is congruent to angle 7. Okay. Now we're going to talk about alternate exterior angles. or AEA? Okay. Alternate exterior angles are like angle 1 is congruent to angle 8. Can somebody tell me another one? Angle 2 is congruent to angle 7, yep. That's it. Alternate interior. Or AIA. Okay, from what we've done, can somebody name an alternate interior angle? 3 and 6, good. They're in between the two parallel lines. Somebody name another one? Angle 4 and angle 5, yeah. Okay, now I've got same side interior. Or SSI. Okay. Angle 3 plus angle 5 equals 180. And angle 4 plus angle 6 equals 180. Okay. And finally, we've got corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. Okay. So like angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. See how they're both on the same side and they're both on top? Angle 3 and angle 7, they're both on the same side, both on the bottom. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. And angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. Okay. I like to make a little note to the side. These ones are congruent. These ones... Same side means they add up to 180. Congruent, 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 add up to 180. Okay, just to make it real quick and easy. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of examples that you might see on your homework for tonight. So I'm moving this up just a little bit. We're going to draw two parallel lines again, cut by a transversal, except this time I'm going to make this x plus 2, this is 7, this is 173, and this is y. And we want to figure out what x and y are. That's a 7. Okay? Do you see that x plus 2 and 7 form a vertical angle? So x plus 2 is congruent to 7 because it's a vertical angle. So x would have to equal 5. Okay? Or you can see that x plus 2 plus 173 equals 180 because it's same side interior. So then we get x plus 175 equals 180. So we'd still get that x equals 5. And do you see that 173 is equal to y because they're vertical angles? So we can find all of those things. So you're going to do your packet today. So if you guys get out your packet, please. I know it's big. Should be okay. Okay, so let's look at like number 3. What are these two things in number 3? Are they same side interior, alternate exterior, corresponding, vertical angles, linear pair? What are they? What do you think? Same side interior, right? Because they're in the same side of the transversal. So I know they add up to 180, so I can say 8x plus 3 plus 18x minus 5 equals 180. 8, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26x minus 2 equals 180. So 26x equals 182. So x equals 26 goes into 182 7 times. So you just solve it just like that. Or number 4, those are what? They're not same side interior this time. What is it? Look again. Are they on opposite sides of the transversal?
Yeah.
So they have to be alternate something. Are they alternate interior or alternate exterior? Interior, because they're inside. And they're what to each other? Congruent or supplementary? Congruent. 23x plus 1 equals 17x plus 31. So I'm going to subtract 17x from both sides. So I'm going to subtract 17x from both sides. What do I get, guys? What's 23 minus 17? 6x plus 1 equals 31. Subtract 1 from both sides. 6x equals 30. Divide both sides by 6, and what does x equal?
5.
Yes. Okay, so that's the whole packet. You're either making them equal to each other or adding them up to equal 180. Okay, got the rest of the hour to work on this.